we're going to race. Right, so first things first, I have driven this car, so I know it is slightly underpowered. There goes that fucking noise again. Goodbye. So I know it's underpowered, and that leads me firstly to believe, but although there's a code logged in the ECU, it doesn't put an engine management light on, unless you absolutely kick its head in. So there we go. So now we're going to start going down the track of actually ascertaining exactly what's going on. I don't have a smoke tester and posh equipment like that, but I do have my eyes and my ears and my brain, which will hopefully lead me to the conclusion I need. So here we go. Right, so the first place we're going to go is to where all this exits. That is an awful lot of soot, considering it's got a DPF and everything else. So we know that we are getting a lot of unburnt fuels or black smoke out the exhaust, or wasted horsepower. So if you've got loads of black smoke, I know a lot of these TDIs and golf mappers and people like that, they have loads of smoke pouring out the exhaust everywhere for performance, whatever they say. Now yeah, sometimes in a diesel you do need a bit of fuel to cool the piston crown, but when you got black smoke pouring out the exhaust, all you're doing is wasting horsepower or wasting fuel. So if you're wasting horsepower, it's because you're not burning it, and if you're wasting fuel, it's because you got far too much. So this is the engine. It's a CRDI 16 valve common rail direct injection motor, 4-cylinder. Front of the vehicle, we can see I have been getting a whiff of something diesely, and we've got number 2 injector blow in there. The copper seal must have failed, and it's chuffing all the carbon out, so we're going to have to clean that out. And then we've got, so firstly, our fault code, got the turbo there, so we're going to hope that that's okay and operating correctly. Then we've got a top intercooler hose here, which comes out the turbo into the intercooler, and then the bottom intercooler hose out there comes out the bottom of the intercooler into this manifold, then into the cylinder head. So there's a few sensors in there, but they all appear to be reading correctly. So we're going to assume now, because we've got physical evidence, it's not performing as it should do, and there is lots of black smoke on the bumper. So we've got physical evidence that it is an underboost issue. So we're going to check all our pipe work, and we're going to check our turbo is operating correctly and feels good. We also, which a lot of people forget to do, we don't know this vehicle at all. So who's to say the air filter isn't just blocked and it just can't suck any air in? So we're going to check that as well. I have got new filters for it, and we're going to do that injector there. That injector is not happy, so we're going to do that there, and then I need to inspect the brakes, get underneath it, give it a full service and everything. But first of all, we're going to start by inspecting the condition of the air filter. So we've got a mass airflow meter, which will probably be a temp sensor as well. We've got this, and then we've got a little door that we flip up, and there is our air filter. So it doesn't look like it's been changed in a while. There is lots of, maybe you can see that, lots of crap in there and stuff, but it is not in a bad enough condition to cause the issue we've got. So that's not going to do it, so we will carry on. Now I also see that someone has been farting around in here before, because the clip off the air pipe that goes into the turbo is missing. Now it's not under pressure, it's just sucking through it, so it's not going to matter, but I will be putting a clip back on there when it goes together. So someone's got the barbecue going today, let's get that off, and we'll try and remove this air filter. Right, one moment. Right, so we'll take off this little induction system here, which is the tracking which the air gets from the front of the car into the airbox. There we go, 2 little clips holding it on. And then I've got a couple of 10 mils to get the airbox out, hopefully. And this one as well. Yeah, this has definitely been apart before, which is no surprise really. I mean, it's done 170,000 miles, which is less than what my Range Rover had done, but she was the right price. So these little telltale signs we can see are the clip was missing and blue roll stuck on the end of the bolt so someone could get it in position, which is cool. Means whoever worked on it last cared and just didn't leave the bolt out, so we'll be happy with that. We need to get down here. We'll just drop that bolt somewhere. We'll get it when the airbox is out. Let's see, oh, there's a clip there that I need to remove. There we go. Okie dokie, right. Okay, does it come out? Oh yeah, there it is. There is our airbox. We'll hoover that out before we put it back in. Great. And we'll take the inlet pipe to the turbo off, and we'll have a feel of the impellers, see if they're restricted at all. Right, okay, so I've got the air filter out and I've got the end of the turbo off, and the turbo itself doesn't feel bad, but the amount of sludge, really sticky hard carbon in the end of the turbo inlet where the fresh air goes in is extraordinary. There is a lot in there, more than I would like to see, which is not great. That's not ideal. So come here. And what we've got coming in the top here is a silver pipe into the top of the turbo with a set of bellows on it, and then that carry, you know, like concertinaed for vibration, and that carries on down, and then there's a pipe that feels like it goes into it, that goes up here to over here to what looks like a differential pressure sensor. Now, I am no expert on Hyundais. I've got a feeling I might become one. I've never worked on Hyundais before, I've never owned one, I've never worked in a place that done what does them. I've always stayed away really from Hyundais and Nissans and Toyotas and all that business. I've always done like Fords, Vauxhalls, Land Rovers, Jaguars, trucks and all that, so I'm just feeling my way around. So obviously I know what the bits and bobs do, but I don't know the finities of how they make it operate or exactly where everything goes. So I'm obviously thinking this is something to do with the emissions control, but it's filling my turbo up with oodles of boodles of black sludge. Now, is that because something like the EGR valve stuck open, or is there another valve, or where does that come? I know the EGR valve's on the front, I think, and there's a pipe that goes along, but I'm gonna have to get a diagram of this engine and what everything does, so then I know, because you know, it's got an electronically operated variable vane turbo or variable geometry turbo or whatever it is, so I need to know about that as well. Now, it could be an issue that it's so sludgy in there that it's jammed the vanes inside the turbo, and what the vanes inside the turbo done in a variable vane or variable geometry or whatever you want to do is they move with the actuator, and it changes the angle in which the exhaust gases enter the turbo, so then it can hit the impeller at a more or less aggressive angle to make it spool faster or slower. Hence variable vane, variable nozzle, variable geometry, whatever. So we need to figure out exactly how that works. But for now, I know I don't like all that sludge, so I'm going to retire back to the house and do a bit of investigations into see what's going on, and a diagram of how this system actually works, because although they're all the same idea, they all work slightly differently. So, and I need information. That's what I need. So let's get to it. And then, but while I'm doing that, I'll order the parts to sort the injector and stuff out. So I have reassembled the Santa Fe because my wife will need it tomorrow, and today is Sunday, and I'm going to retire back to the house with the back garden and do a bit of research on the internet and see if I can get some kind of an owner's manual for it as well. But for now, I'm going to go and make my wife some mojitos and myself a drink and do some research. So if it don't fit, don't force it, and you'll probably see me in a few days time by the power of YouTube. So welcome to another day, and got myself some heel bars, and we're going to tackle this leaking injector first because it makes the car absolutely stink. So the plan is we're going to clear all this carbonised crap out, and then we're going to get in there with a heel bar and just pull it out. It'll be as easy as that, he says. So we'll start by unclipping it. Now sometimes they can get really stuck on there, but we're lucky with that one. So that's come off. What else have we got here? Well, that's pretty well buried. So take the spill off pipes off. They're quite nice on this, they're crimped ends. Get the 70, get the pipe out the way, and cover the end so no shit goes in it, and this end, and then start clearing away all this carbon crap that's all everywhere, and see how we go. Actually, I might just start trying to clear some of it out with a screwdriver now. We'll dig it out. It is everywhere. Right, you don't need to see me digging all this out. It's going to take me ages because it's horrible. See, look at it all. It's like coal. So let's get on with it. So I've removed a lot of the debris around it, not all of it because I can't get to it. I'm going to try and undo the injector clamp to get some more access. Oh, it's come undone, which is good. That is tight. Now she's coming. With the use of my podger, I've got the clamp off. Excellent. So, got my wife's shark hoover, only the best. we'll keep the Hoover until she actually notices what I'm doing, and then we won't have the Hoover anymore, probably. Anyway, let's get back to it. Just digging it all out because it's just everywhere, and this stuff goes off so hard. It's just an absolute nightmare when this happens. Be lucky if the injector doesn't break. This Hoover of my wife's is so posh that it's probably already sent an email to the manufacturers saying the warranty's not covered because I'm using it to fix her car. Right. There we go. Watch the spill off pipe. She's moving. Right, we need another socket. Oh, me fucking finger.
Delete that one, yes?
Yeah, please. That was hard work, but the US Pro pry bars did it. It's not broken and we can reuse it. Injector's out and she's not damaged, so we can reuse her. That's amazing.
What are you doing?
Nice job, Gemma.
Thanks, babe.
Right, so now I've just got to clean in here and gets what's left of the copper washer out. Right, so I spared you the boredom. I've cleaned the injector, the pipe, the bracket. I've cleaned inside the cylinder head and the bolt hole. This is really handy tip. You can use some of the braided earth wire and get the end, and then you can stick it down the hole and give it a good clean. Also some copper pipe because it's softer than the head, the aluminium, so the copper you can just scrape it down and clean stuff out. And got a new bolt and a washer and we'll get it back together. What a horrible job that was. So injector's all cleaned up now, new washer's on there, hole in the seat's all cleaned up, and don't forget about the threaded part where the bolt goes in because that fills up with carbon too. The wife's Hoover's ruined, but we'll be alright. We're going to get it together now and tighten everything up, and I'll bring it back running and then we'll get on with the next job. Right, so after that completely horrible job that was totally boring, I'm just going to gloss over it and we'll move on to some more fun stuff because that was horrendous. It's been hours. Keys. Right, so I've done the injector on that Hyundai, as you've just seen, and tightened up a load of Jubilee clips and bits and bobs, and that appears to have cured our underboost problem as well. So now the injector's not blowing and it's all working. So the next thing to do to get the Hyundai ready for family use is we do a lot of towing with the caravan and horse box and stuff, so I need a tow bar, which is what's in this excellently packaged box off eBay, as you can see. So I've got some new parcel opening there, Nipex scissors my dad got me, so we're gonna get it open and have a look. This is the finest tow bar from Korea, so let's see what it was. Oh, it's cheapest on eBay, I think. So we've got tow bar. I'm not sure what that's for.
It's for the tow bar head.
Ah, now I understand. We've got a removable tow bar. I might make a bit more of a robust clip for it because that seems very Korean to me. I'm not. Yeah, I need something more than a bit of 2mm plate with a hook on it to hold this in. So we're gonna have a look at that, but first we'll get it fitted. What else have we got? Oh, we got instructions and a bag of bolts and whatever that is. Something. So let's go and fit it to the car then. I'll take the bumper off. I've got to take the lights out. I've got to take the spare wheel out, empty all this crap out the boot, and there's some fixings under there, and then down the sides of the wheel arch and underneath, and then I can just take the bumper off just like that. Just take the bumper off, you know. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to get the spare wheel out first, and then we'll get the lights out, and then we'll take the bumper off. Excuse the mess, but there is no YouTube fakery around here or anything. This is a working car that does working stuff, like carries the family around and goes to horsey stuff. So we've got body protectors and horsey hats and more horsey hats and horsey coats and horsey boots and horsey hat silks. So we've got to move all that out of the way, and we can lift up the little hatch in the back, and then there's a whirly gig. There's a bolt down there with a tube that goes on it, and then you unscrew that and it lowers the tyre out the bottom of the car. As we can see there, the tyre is lowered, and we just have to get it off the hooky thing. It's starting to rain. How lovely. Great, that flat tyre. That's good though. Look, it's pretty flat, so we'll have to do something about that. Marvellous. Great, fucking brilliant. So I've got one light out. There's just 2 screws and then 2 like push-in things off the back of the light. There. So you take the 2 screws out and then you pull on it until you think it's going to break, and then when you think it's going to break you pull it a bit more and then it comes out. So you just 2 10mm and then yank it, and then all you've got is your wiring connector there, just so we can get to the screw for the bumper that's on the top there. So let's get the other back light out. Record, the person that created these style of clips with the plastic mushroom with the plastic screw in it, bad things should happen to that person because they're fucking awful. Excuse my language, sorry. So we've got 1, 2, 3 screws there, screw up there, sorry, being a bad cameraman, screw up there to hold the bumper in position, and then 3 screws down that hold the wheel arch, then some screws underneath, and I'm hoping we can just peel the bumper off, being careful not to damage the wiring for the parking sensors or the fog light. do a job like this, you need to invest in one of these. This is a snap-on one. Other makes are available, but you can just like do stuff with it. These are what's it's a plastic screw in a plastic fitting, and they're proper annoying. I've got this nice little screwdriver here that fits up into the wheel arch, and then there's a Phillips screw just hidden up there that you can get to and undo. So let's get that one off, and then we can undo the wheel arches and hopefully pull the bumper off. So just in the nick of time it started to rain, and by the nick of time I mean as soon as I decide to start any project. So let's go around there. Right, so you may have to excuse the poor lighting, but here is the wiring for the parking sensors and the lights in the bumper, and that there I believe is the factory tail for the towing electrics and the caravan electrics. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do some research and see if I can get a plug and the towing from Hyundai, just the electric side of it, because I don't want to hack into the car and add one of the aftermarket CAN bus adjuster thingies and all that bullshit and everything. I just want to plug into there and do it, because I don't want to break into the wiring unnecessarily, unlike all the tow bar fitting people that just hack your shit to pieces and just crack on. I just want to plug in and make it nice. So we'll unplug, we'll have a look at this now and get it all cleaned off, because there is mud for days in here. Look at all this mud, all that, just because I live in Wales and we're up and down the lanes all the time. There is just mud and cow poo and horse poo and sheep poo everywhere. Look, just all this lovely mud. Alright, follow me. Just support that side of it, because I'm hoping it should come off, unless there's anything holding it in the middle.
Unhook these, or have you done it?
I've done everything. Right, it's still, there's something still holding it. I wonder whether something. Right. Back in a minute.
Is the lights are cable tied to the.
Oh, maybe that's supposed to come. Oh, I see. That comes off with that, but we're taking it off separately. Great. Okay. That's a bit knobby, isn't it?
What, so you have to undo this?
Yeah. You know, all I can do is look. Oh right, okay, the bolts. Right. Oh, that's fucking weird, isn't it? Yes, I'm using a silver socket as an impact socket. You're hooked anywhere.
What's this bit here?
Right. Right, so we have removed the bumper without too much stress, and now we can get to fitting the tow bar, although I don't think these bits are supposed to be very bent. Looks like someone's reversed into something, so we'll unbend those and then we'll proceed. Well, that was nice and easy. Right then, it's time to start offering parts up and have a clean. Brain the instructions and working it out. That's the bracket for this side with the L bracket for the other side, nuts and bolts, and we're going to use a healthy helping of the copper anti-seize grease, because no tow bar fitter ever does that, and if you want to ever get it off in the future to do maintenance or repair or anything like that, you can never get them off. But this tow bar was actually made in Poland, not in Korea like I said, so it's looking actually like quite a nice bit of kit. The welds look really good on it. Grease it.
No.
Go on, grease it, Jen.
Mate, this is disgusting.
It suits your green metallic fingernails.
Is that enough?
Gotta get it all the way down.
This feels absolutely gross on my
All
fingers.
the way down to the other end. All the way, sorry, all the way to the top. Oh yeah, that's the one.
Is that enough?
Yeah, that's perfect. Thank you very much. This is a Gaz Blackhand's top tip, and see that there? There is a right side and a wrong side of a washer. So that side there has got a sharp edge, and that side has got a nice rounded edge, because the stamp comes down that way and stamps it out. So you should always fit your washers with the rounded edge facing out, because it looks better and it feels nicer, and it's not gonna just because you can, because I like to do it, because they're nicer that way. See, that edge, that side's all horrible and minging, and that side is all lovely and rounded and nice, because that's the way the press went through it. Anyway, now I've bored you all to death of the science of washers, we'll get some more in. Always put it all together before tightening it up completely, otherwise you never get it to fit. Oh, and the spare wheel's flat.
Okay.
The impact protector interferes with the bracket for the tow bar, so I'm just going to cut it out there, because our crash sensor, I believe it is located there, and all the wiring for the lighting and stuff, so we're just going to remove that with the angle grinder. Right, so after figuring out the Polish converted to English instructions, we have managed to figure out the removable tow bar. The one thing I will say about this tow bar, unlike the manufacturer's one or Witter's one, is there's no locking device on the removable part, so just bear that in mind. So yeah, but now bumper on, and then we've just got to figure out the electrics, but that's probably for another day. Right, so there's the tow bar all fitted up. So now the bumper's back on and I've cut it out, so I'm just going to put the wheel arches back in, put the lights back in, make sure everything works, put all the rest of the bolts in the tow bar, and we'll be good for towing the caravan and going racing. On these lights for the Hyundai, there's a slide-in clip there, 2 little bullets there, see there, and a slide-in clip there, and then 2 screws there. So what you have to do is you get your wiring loom, plug it in, and then you'll hold it up tight and watch it slide onto the rivet at the top, and then in, and there we go, fitted. Put your 2 screws in, happy days. So all that's left to do now is put the spare wheel back under, and then I want to look at the diagrams and see if I can pick up off the Hyundai towing electrics plug and either adapt the plugs and stuff I've got with the tow bar kit, or find one, because I don't really want to cut into the loom at the lights, because sometimes it can do mad shit to your CAN bus system. So, and I just don't like cutting in for avoidable reason. So we'll do that, but that brings this to an end. If it don't fit, don't force it.